Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your. It is hard for Warriors fans to know that the roster has a promising young player who could be a future star, and this player has few minutes in the team's rotation. Jonathan Kuminga is facing a big problem in his career, because he is fit and wants to play more time, and coach Steve Kerr is making it clear that he does not trust Kuminga. The only thing left for Kuminga and the Warriors is to trade him, so that both are happy. The Phoenix Suns have already expressed interest in the player, and this could be Kuminga's destination next season. If Jonathan Kuminga feels disrespected by the Golden State Warriors, there's no reason for the Dubs to bring him back next season. Heading into the 2024-25 NBA season, it appeared that Jonathan Kuminga would be the odd man out. The Golden State Warriors were able to agree on an extension with Moses Moody, but Kuminga and the Warriors were unable to make a deal. However, during their blistering 12-3 start to the season, Kuminga averaged 13.3 points, which wasn't great, but he continued to improve on defense. He looked like a central part of the Warriors moving forward, and making it past the trade deadline indicated that he would likely be re-signed in restricted free agency. However, the arrival of Jimmy Butler made it clear that Kuminga would be demoted on the depth chart, and 2 straight DNPs, coach's decision, in a row have made it clear that the Warriors don't see him as a critical piece moving forward. Warriors are urged to let Kuminga go. As a restricted free agent, Kuminga can commit to any team in the league, although if the Warriors match the offer, he has to play for them. At points this season, it looked like the Dubs would do just that, with Steve Kerr insisting that they were committed to their young forward. However, in a must-win season finale against the LA Clippers, he didn't play, and in the following play-in game against the Memphis Grizzlies, he also did not step on the court. "It's crazy to me," said Chandler Parsons on FanDuel's Run It Back. "You can't find 10, 12 minutes for this guy, who is going to be a restricted free agent, who is going to be a hot commodity in the market this summer." While Kuminga and Butler offer much of the same, it seems like Golden State could stagger their minutes and always have an athletic wing defender on the court. "It boggles my mind a little bit. He's going to command a lot of money this summer," Parsons continued. "The dude is a stud. Just let him walk at this point. Someone is going to offer him $20 to $25 million a year, and the Warriors shouldn't match it if he's not playing their 2 most important games of the season." Parsons and fans agree that Kuminga is likely checked out after his 2 DNPs, and understands that he is not a part of the plans moving forward, and would much rather sign elsewhere than be traded after returning to Golden State. Possible Kuminga landing spots this offseason. Dating back to last summer, the Brooklyn Nets have been listed as a possible landing spot for Kuminga. As a solid, athletic defender, he fits on plenty of teams around the league, and rebuilding squads like the Nets, Washington Wizards, and Utah Jazz would likely be able to find a use for him. The Phoenix Suns are also intriguing, especially if they part ways with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. They ranked 28th in defense, and slotting Kuminga next to a scorer like Devin Booker would only improve their poorly constructed roster. Had the Warriors planned on not playing Kuminga, they likely would have just traded him to the Miami Heat in the deal for Butler and kept either Kyle Anderson or somehow held on to Andrew Wiggins. It seems like the Warriors mishandled Kuminga this season, and now the team and player are heading towards a divorce this summer. Warriors Steve Kerr addresses Jimmy Butler-Jonathan Kuminga dilemma. It's safe to say that Jonathan Kuminga isn't in the best of terms with the Golden State Warriors coaching staff. The Warriors, in 2 must-win games, decided to bench the 22-year-old forward completely. This is a stunning turn of events, as Kuminga has long been touted as an important part of the team's core, and yet here he is, in year 4 of his career, receiving DNP/CDS in crucial contests. Kuminga's role has been especially diminished in the aftermath of the trade that brought Jimmy Butler to the Bay Area. And Steve Kerr's decision as of late to remove him from the rotation has called into question his place in the Warriors' future plans, and whether or not he'd be playing a role for the team in their upcoming first-round matchup against the Houston Rockets. Kerr's latest remarks suggest that there might not be a role for Kuminga in the Warriors' playoff run, considering how he views the Kuminga/Butler pairing. "I have to read what we need. I have to read who's playing well together. And to be very frank, the Jimmy/JK, Kuminga, combination has not been great, and that's the tricky part here. And I'm playing Jimmy 40 minutes a night because he's one of the very best players in the league, Kerr said via Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game. Indeed, given the choice, the Warriors would much rather rely on Butler than Kuminga. Butler is proven in the grand playoff stage, after all. And it's tricky for a coach to navigate the delicate balance between handling players' egos and doing what's best for the team. This doesn't mean that Kuminga shouldn't have a place on the team moving forward. But the Warriors recognize the urgency of the situation and would much rather stick with what's working. The Warriors decided that the risk that comes with acquiring Jimmy Butler is well worth it. And the turnaround that they managed in the aftermath of acquiring Butler proves that taking that leap of faith was worth the price. Integrating Butler, however, has come at the cost of Jonathan Kuminga and his role. The fit between the two is iffy at best considering their lack of production from beyond the arc. And this has left Steve Kerr with little to no choice but to make hard decisions to optimize the personnel at his disposal. There's a reason we're here and we're in the 7th seed. And the reason is Jimmy, and so my job as a coach is to keep the team on a path that I think gives us the best chance to win. And for now, that's why I've been leaning into the lineups that I have, Kerr added. Jonathan Kuminga predicted to have grim future with Warriors. If you could rewind about 5 years, it would have been considered absurd that the Warriors would be sitting here in 2025, with the most productive of their draft picks from the 2020 and 2021 drafts when they had 3 lottery picks, including back-to-back years with top 7 picks being Moses Moody. Moody, in his 4th season, was the number 14 pick in 2021, and is averaging 9.8 points. That is a career high. James Wiseman, the 2020 number 2 pick, for whom the Warriors passed on Hornets star LaMelo Ball, is already effectively out of the NBA, having been released by the Raptors in February. And now, Jonathan Kuminga, the talented and athletic wing for the Warriors chosen 7th in 2021, has been benched by coach Steve Kerr. With Kuminga up for a contract extension and with the Warriors unable to find a role for him since the trade to bring in star Jimmy Butler, it's likely that Kuminga is in the final days of his star-crossed Golden State career. Barring injury, he won't play much in the Dubs' upcoming playoff slate. This comes from Tim Kawakami of The Athletic, one of the best Warriors reporters in the business, who was speaking to the San Francisco radio station 95.7 The Game. The likely situation is, Jonathan Kuminga is not going to be on the Warriors next season, Kawakami said. Things can change, but all things being equal, it was probably going to be a tricky situation for him to come back to the Warriors anyway. I don't know that he's going to be galloping to sign a new deal with the Warriors given all this. Kuminga averaged 15.3 points this season, but his lack of shooting and inability to consistently defend make him tough to put on the floor with 2 other non-shooters, Butler and Draymond Green. The Warriors committed to Butler after trading for him, giving him a 2-year, $110 million contract through 2027. The Warriors were already iffy on giving Kuminga a long-term deal before Butler arrived. Now, with Kerr all but clear on the fact that he can't put Kuminga on the floor anymore, it seems the decision has been made. Why Draymond is impressed by Steph's on-court growth, leadership. Draymond Green is amazed at Steph Curry's leadership development during their time with the Warriors. Green recounted a moment during Golden State's 121-116 NBA play-in tournament victory over the Memphis Grizzlies where Curry offered a critique and play suggestion. I said in my press conference, Steph, in a very nice way, told me not to shoot, Green said on The Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis. Steph would never say don't shoot, but that's how I wanted to hear what he was saying. Pretty much what he was saying was, I want you to get the ball in the same spot that you just got it. I don't want you to take the shot, I want you to get me the ball so I can take the shot. And we went right back to it, and he took the shot, and if you see when he made the shot, he turned to me and screamed. The tandem has played together on the Warriors for 13 years, during which Green has noticed Curry become a much more vocal leader on the court. I was right here for that year where I felt like his career really started, Green told Davis. So to watch the growth from that point and for him to come to me and be like, yo alright so just boom boom, We need to that's the growth that I'm most impressed by. Obviously, the shot making, like all of that stuff, is incredible, but for me, I've seen it from the inside the entire time. Because that growth right there encompasses so many different areas, it encompasses his voice. You know, he didn't always have that voice right there. The 37-year-old has become known for his incredible shooting prowess and his ability to weave through opposing defenses with ease, something that leaves Green in awe to this day. All these years, that's something that he grew into, and the ability to read the defenses and see the floor, Green explained. He's always been able to see the floor, but he sees the floor at such an elite level now, it's crazy, and the timeliness. So those are the areas of growth where people will see we have a certain connection on the court, right? That's one of the ones where I'll be sitting back like, wow. I'm amazed because I can remember those situations even 7 years ago, 5 years ago, and he wouldn't have said that. Curry turned in a resurgent second half of the regular season, with the Jimmy Butler trade rejuvenating the 37-year-old. His ability to nail clutch shots was on full display against Memphis, as his 15-point scoring barrage in the fourth quarter was enough to hold off the Grizzlies. Now, Green and Curry will turn their attention to a first-round playoff series against the Houston Rockets. Expect more vocal leadership and unreal shooting from one of the NBA's all-time greats.